You're probably saying, how can he do a UConn video after they blew out Providence 67-41? What is there to talk about? Well, there's a lot to talk about. This would include that he has one lineup that he truly likes.
Well, I know what the right group is.
The other thing is the quest to find a big that he is happy with continues. But as always, before we start, if you enjoy the content, then please consider subscribing to the channel and giving the video a like. All right, let's get into this. So AZ Fudd is back in the starting lineup. This was not a surprise. He said this would happen in the pregame press conference. The goal with Fudd was to get her to play 20 minutes, and she actually played 24 minutes. She still has a lot of rust, as she only went 3 for 11 shooting and was 2 for 6 from the three-point line. The good news is she is moving well. It looks like there are nil effects from the knee sprain that she had versus Louisville. And fingers crossed she can have an injury-free run and have a good lead up into the tournament. The other big news is that Jana El-Alfy was put in the starting lineup over Ice Brady. And if you watch my content or my channel, you're not surprised by this, as Ice Brady is just a liability right now on offense. So is Jana El-Alfy, to be honest, but El-Alfy gives you more on defense and rebounding, and if you're not going to get offense from either or, and you're still intent on finding a big that you can count on, then go with the one that can give you some defense and hope that their offense can develop. At least that was the plan. Funny enough, in this game, Jana El-Alfy did not go well in her debut as a starter. She, in fact, only got 10 minutes versus Ice Brady getting 13 minutes. It all started out so well with an initial basket for El-Alfy, but then when your safety and your team is doing the press, it's best not to let somebody get behind you. She let somebody get behind her when she was the safety, and sure enough, they throw over her head and the person gets a basket. And then Geno on the sideline goes Michael Flatley and does like a tap dancing type thing because he's so irritated. When Jana El-Alfy came on in the second quarter, she had a bunny, like the player that she was guarding fell. She had an open layup. She blew the bunny. She self-rebounded and missed the second bunny. And if there's one thing Geno Auriemma hates, it's his bigs missing bunnies. Then come the third quarter, she gets a ridiculous early cheap foul going over the back and sort of swiping at the ball, and her night was done. Geno had had enough. Come sit on the bench and think about your sins. Now, Geno is asked about the switch from Ice to Jana, and he basically said, we need to keep experimenting, gives us a different look. What else did he say? We need to make progress in that area of our bigs, essentially.
Can you just talk a little bit about the decision to start Jana today, how that came about and how you thought she did taking on that role for the first time?
I thought at some point we need to keep experimenting, and see what does work, what can be better, and just give us a different kind of look. And I think the progress that we need to make in that area, it's going to take a while. It's not going to be easy. So we'll keep trying. But I thought, until she missed a layup and then her own layup, I think she was okay. I think the biggest challenge for these guys is mentally staying present. I think that's the biggest challenge right now.
During the press conference as well, he was asked about how he was so high on Jana during the preseason and what has happened. And his overall comment was she needs more time, and they're hoping that putting her in the starting lineup will help settle her down. They see glimpses of when she's really good, and that's reflected in the lineups. One of their top lineups net rating is KK Arnold, AZ Fudd, Paige Becker, Strong, and El-Alfy, which is plus 24 in 16 minutes, prorated over 100 possessions. That's plus 83. That's potentially their best lineup, but she's consistently inconsistent and cannot hold on to the rope. But if you look at all the other lineups as well with El-Alfy, versus ice. The El-Alfy lineups do better. The only question is her minutes have been limited. So with more minutes, will she settle down and will she improve and get even better? Or will it be a case that as she gets more minutes, her numbers will go down, or the lineups that she's in, the numbers will go down? Overall, UConn has about a month and a bit before they play South Carolina, and they need to figure out, do we have a big that can play and hold up or not? That's really the goal over the next month and a bit, playing these Big East teams and trying to build confidence in both Ice Brady and Jana El-Alfy and come out with at least one big that you're confident in. Hopefully both of them, their games improve. Just with Ice Brady, I just don't know if her offense is going to come around. She obviously has lost all confidence in her outside shot. And if she's not able to hit an outside shot, it really limits what she's able to do for UConn. Last year in the mid-range, she shot 39%, and from three, she was 24%. She had that one really good game versus USC, but this year it just hasn't. You thought she would take the next step, but in the mid-range, she's 33% this season. In three-pointers, she is 16%. But the good news is that there is one lineup that's working. Geno spoke about this. He has one lineup he believes in.
But you had so many different lineups. How important for you is it going to be to find the right group?
Well, I know what the right group is. I'm just trying to get other people some playing time and see, whether or not, we can have more people that are more productive, and that's the only way you're going to be able to do that is to get people in the lineup, try different things. But we have one group that's really, really good, and then we've got other things that are a work in progress.
He didn't say what it was, but I will tell you what that lineup is. That lineup is Sarah Strong playing the 5. Now with USC, that was with Morgan Shelley, and the Morgan Shelley-Sarah Strong lineup, that is plus 25 in 18 minutes. As well, you can throw any sort of guards with that. So they had Chin, Shade, and Beckers. That was the one that was plus 25 in 18 minutes. As well, the one with KK, Shade, and Paige Beckers with Strong and Shelley, that was plus 13 in 11 minutes. So both of those lineups are killers. When prorated over 100 possessions, the first one is plus 82.6. The other one is plus 68.3. Not surprisingly, that small ball lineup worked as well against Providence with KK, Fudd, Beckers, Shelley, and Strong going for plus 6 over 2 minutes and 15 seconds. In the second half, instead of using Shelley at the 4, he put Beckers at the 4. So he went small ball again with KK, Shade, Fudd, Beckers, and Strong, and that was plus 9. You can see him really liking that lineup. And that's the backup plan. If his bigs come to the party, then great. And it's shown in flashes, like when El-Alfy first started the game, the lineups with her in it were plus 13 in the first 6 minutes. And then Ice Brady came in as well for the rest, like for another minute and 34, and that lineup was plus 7. So it can work. Ice Brady made a nice pass. But if they cannot play consistently, it's nice to know that UConn can go to small ball and that lineup will dominate. And I think in the back of his mind is, I will get Aubrey Griffin back in mid-January, get her up to speed, and then I can really play a good brand of small ball. If Morgan Shelley isn't working out or having an off game because she's a freshman, then I'm able to go to Griffin and burst, and that lineup could be devastating. That being KK, Fudd, Paige Beckers, Griffin, and Strong. If Fudd and Beckers and Strong give you enough shooting, that allows you to get the more athletic KK and Griffin on the court, who can shoot it, although KK has not been shooting well this season. Like, she does not have much confidence. Much like Ice Brady, her shot has regressed for some reason. I don't know why, and maybe it's just an early season slump. But you would think you would have enough shooters with those three on there, with those two. And KK at least is playing really high-level pressure defense. And Geno called her out in the press conference saying her defense has really been good. So overall, if you're a UConn fan, don't listen to the noise. Everybody's going to bag on the Big East and say how terrible it is. Instead, watch it and watch how the clay gets molded, as I think this team could take shape and be very, very nasty a really nasty good team come March, and I think it'll be fun to watch it take shape. And you have like almost like a midterm exam in South Carolina and Tennessee, which should be fun to see how far along this team has come. Now it is over to you. Do you see the vision like I do? All your comments and poison, it's all welcome. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great night.